What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon, and it's really nice outside, so I decided to do this vlog outside because it's pretty nice. Really nice weather here in Virginia. So today, actually, we're gonna get to the unboxing first. So as you guys know, I've been shooting my A7RII with my MC11 adapter, and I still use all my Sigma arc lenses. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the vlog, but after I did my last shoot, and this is kind of jumping forward, but after I did my last shoot, I was kind of looking at the low light with the MC11 adapter and all my Sigma Canon mount lenses, and I did notice that at nighttime or low light, the MC11 adapter does hunt a little bit. It does. It's kind of hard for it to focus a little bit in low light compared to a native lens. So one thing that I did pick up a few Sony lenses just to have some native ones. I picked up the 16mm f2.8. I also picked up the 28mm f2. Really nice lens, and I really want to do some videoing with the A7RII and my A6000 just to have some native lenses. I also picked up this one that I just got in the mail today. I had to get this because I've heard nothing but good things about it. Hopefully I got a good copy. I don't know how this Sony thing works, but I did pick up the 55mm f1.8 Zeiss lens, and I've heard nothing but good reviews on this lens. This thing is heavy. Ooh, got some weight to it. Focusing ring is good. Alright, as you know, it has the T coating, and I'm sure you guys probably seen 1,000 videos, 1,000 reviews on this 55mm Zeiss lens 1.8. So I'm going to test this probably in my next shoot tomorrow. It's a 55 1.8. It's super sharp. I've heard nothing but good reviews about it. Even on the DxO mark, I mean, it's probably the sharpest under the 85 1.4 G Master, I guess. It's actually sharper than a G Master. Overall rating with, you know, chromatic aberration, vignetting, is second on the list as one of the sharpest lenses, full frame FE lenses on these Sony lines. So I'm really excited to test this out and see how it holds up. So yeah, stay tuned for my next photo shoot with the 55 1.8 FE Zeiss. So let's talk about my take on Sony since I switched over from my Canon 5D Mark IV, and I'll get into some questions here in a few. Some postings to talk about the A7RII. Well, it is definitely a beast. It's definitely a beast. The menus kind of took a little bit to get used to, setting everything up how I wanted it, but man, is this thing, it's amazing. So the features that this thing has on it is enough to make any photographer switch, especially when you do the type of photography that a lot of us, EVF, the eye autofocus, and all the things that this camera has on it is what photographers need. And that's how I compare this to my 5D Mark IV. So when I just did the photo shoot and being out there, as soon as I can get there, I was looking through the finder and the LCD and the focus, and I was able to look at my ambient and expose it underexpose it exactly where I wanted it. Once I exposed it exactly where I wanted it, I was able to pop on my flash, adjust my flash power, and just go. It was absolutely like amazing. The electronic viewfinder it's everything, and that's one of the main reasons why I switched from Canon to Sony, is mainly for that EVF. And I'm really glad I did, because there are so many things in this camera to assist photographers. A lot of things. Whether you're doing manual focus assist, whether you have, I mean, there's so many things. Center lock on focus, zebras. I mean, yeah, some of those things you can take your camera and probably put magic lantern on it and have to do a lot of things, but it already has pretty much everything that you need in it. It is here to assist the photographer. It's like it's like Sony was actually listening to their people. They're actually listening to what people want. And on top of that, the megapixels. I mean, it's absolutely great. I didn't have a lot of that stuff with Canon. Now, what are some of the things that I miss that I had on Canon that I'm missing from Sony? Well, not really a lot, but I will tell you the colors. I think probably anybody will tell you it's the colors. Colors on the 5D Mark IV were outstanding, straight out of camera. All right, we're not talking about post-processing. We're talking about straight out of the camera. The colors, the color pattern and color match on the Canon 5D Mark IV, or actually Canon period, looks a little bit better on the Canon than it does on the Sony. Now, I know a lot of people really don't care because you post-process your pictures anyway. So, to some people, it's really not gonna matter. Most of us really actually post-process all of our images. But that's really the biggest difference. Not to mention the menu system is a lot more user-friendly than the Sony. The buttons and everything is just not bad. Some people talk about the ergonomics of the Canon versus the Sony. For the other models, like the A6000, 63, 65, those are a little lighter. But with the A7RII, this thing has some heft to it. So it was kind of like I was getting everything I wanted, and it has a really good heft to it. So I was really surprised of being on location and being able to shoot. And it was just so light. It feels like I was point and shooting, but like I told you on my last vlog, it feels like a point and shoot. But there's so many things in here, you just feel like a photographer. You just want to go out and shoot with this thing when you pick it up. I just want to go shoot. Anybody want to shoot? Y'all want to shoot? I just want to go shoot. It's awesome. I wish they did have they pull out tilt screen, the articulating screen, which they're probably going to fix here in the next the A7 III or future products. But I'm really excited to know what they're coming out with next. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to be spending a lot of money on future gear and things that the Sony is coming out with. So yeah, that's my take on Sony, my using Sony since I've transferred from over to Canon. I mean, I'm proud. I am happy that I actually switched. I really thought I would be missing Canon and everything that I have, the menu system, the heft, the heaviness, but I mean, I'm here to tell you it worked out. So what are some other things? Let's talk about adaptive lenses. All right, I know there's a lot of mixed reviews out there about adaptive lenses, so I'm going to tell you this. I want you guys to listen up to this. This is the honest review that you're going to get. So I have the MC11 adapter, and as you guys know, I have all Sigma Art lenses. They are Canon mount, but they're all Sigma Art lenses. When I tell you that the Sigma Art lenses are just as fast with focusing and native capabilities as a native lens, mark my words, they are just as fast and just as sharp. So you can still get the sharpness, the quality, everything out of your Sigma Art lenses as you can with any other lenses, and use them on your camera just as fast. When I was focusing, so when I started my photo shoot, I had the 85mm 1.4 Sigma Art, and then I went to the 135 1.8. Now I had already tried the 35 1.4, and I tried my 20 at home, but not in the photo shoot. When I was focusing with my 85 1.4, I was nailing focus like I had a native lens on. The EVF, the eye autofocus, the face detection, everything was working like flat on. So I took my 85mm 1.4 off and I put on a native lens to see if there was, it focused, it was just the same. In some instances, I think the MC11 actually was focusing even faster than the native lens. When you put the MC11 adapter on here with those lenses, update the firmware, you are getting almost everything you can. So I was thinking about going native and selling all my Sigma Art and going all that. Honestly, there's no reason to. There's no reason to, because I'm not suffering from any type of loss with the MC11. If people are having problems with it, then maybe you guys have a bad copy or something, but I'm nailing focus. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm nailing focus. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And it's super fast. This is just as fast as I want it. So let's talk about low light. So when I shot that last photo shoot around 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, it was a little, the ambient was really good. It was a nice golden hour, but it got darker. When it did get darker, I did notice that my MC11 and my other lenses started to hunt a little bit. Even though I was looking at her through there, it started to hunt a little bit. Not bad, but it took just a tad bit slow. I can definitely tell the difference between being really bright outside and being darker outside when it came to my when it came to focusing. So is that a deal breaker for me? Honestly, no, because what I did was I just went out and got the 55mm Zeiss 1.8, and I also have the 28 f2, and I have the 16 2.8. So if I really need to shoot at nighttime, if I really have to, I'll just throw on my 55, honestly. If I need to get closer, I want a longer shoot, I put it in the Super 35 crop mode and shoot, or throw it on my A6000. But I kind of have all my bases covered with my Sigma Art and my new Sony, the 55mm Zeiss for a night photo shoot also. So my thing to you guys is, if you just switched over, or you're thinking about switching over to Sony from Canon, if you have the Sigma Art, there's really no reason to get rid of it over native. There really is not. I'm telling you, there is not. Alright, I'm going to probably start doing, I'm going to do a few photo shoots here in the future where I'm only using the 85, or I'm only going to do a whole photo shoot with the 135, just so you can see how fast it's nail and focus. And I'm going to use my Atomos. I'm going to throw my Atomos on here just so you guys can see actually how fast it's going to focus. Let's talk about some lenses that aren't Sigma Art. So I sold all my Canon lenses. Now, one lens I still do have is the Tamron 70 to 200 2.8 DIBC lens. Now, this is not the G2. This is the 2.8 7200 2.8 DIBC, which is vibration compensation, which is image stabilization, just Tamron. So I still do have that. Now, when I put my MC11 adapter on, if you have the 70 to 200 Tamron, the focus is slow. It's a little slow. It's manageable. It's a manageable slow. However, you do not get the native capabilities and features if you use that Tamron. You don't. My eye autofocus does not work with my 70 to 200 Tamron. There's a lot of the Tamron lenses I noticed don't have the features. Now, face detection works. But there's a lot of things on there that doesn't work with my Tamron. So I'm looking into selling my Tamron 70 to 200 and probably going with the 7200 G Master 2.8, or actually even f4. I really don't need 2.8 at 70 to 200. That's just my personal preference. I really don't need 70 to 200. So that is my take on my new Sony. I'm loving it, man. I'm really looking forward to bringing you guys more videos, more footage, so you can actually see from somebody who just left Canon, just left the 5D Mark IV. I'm really interested in showing you guys more of my experience, so you guys can think about things, make the switch for yourself. If you're I'm a hardcore Canon fan. I've been Canon for over 7 years. But like I told you, the innovation and the direction that Canon is going, they're going to have to make a tremendous switch to keep up with Sony and even Nikon. I saw Nikon is probably coming out. I saw some things about the D820 and some things that Nikon is doing. People are evolving. I don't see Canon really evolving right now. As you guys know, I'm filming you right now with my Canon 80D. I kept my 80D because I think it is probably the best vlogging camera on the market. I have the articulating screen. I can see myself. So I kept that. I kept my Canon, my 80D. But I mean, having this and my A6000 is great. When they come out with the A7RII, I might look into getting that to pair that with my my A7R II, just so I can have both of my full frames for wedding when I do my weddings. But I mean, guys, I'm loving this camera. I mean, you won't be mad I mean, you might be a little frustrated at the beginning, but trust me, it's going to wear off when you see the results. So hang in there. Yeah, I'm not telling you guys to switch. I would never do that. But if that's where your heart is, and you think that the features, if you think that the features in the Sony will help your photography like it does mine, then hey, it's all about what you shoot and why you shoot. So, all right, I'm gonna read some questions here. I know you guys are out there, and I know you got questions, so I'm gonna read a few questions that I have here. All right, these come from my Instagram. If you guys don't know, please follow me on Instagram, www.instagram.com/BrandonCophotography. And if you're not friends with me on Facebook, guys, follow me on Facebook. I'll make sure I follow you guys back. You can find me on Facebook, same, facebook.com/BrandonCophotography. And hey, let's grow together. I'm trying to get my channel back up. I was on deployment, so I'm back. So I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. So hey, share, make sure you guys subscribe, and wait, we can grow together. I always try to bring you content that's going to help you. I don't really like just going out and shooting. I like trying to explain things. I'm working with a lot of local photographers. I believe in giving back. I believe in answering all your questions. I believe in giving feedback to anything that you want me to. I really think that photographers need to get more hands-on with the people that follow them, the people that have questions. So let's get to some questions here. All right, the first question: hey, you changed from Canon to Sony. How do you like Sony? I just answered that question. I'm loving Sony right now. I like their direction. I like what they've been doing for photographers. And hey, keep it up, Sony. If you're looking at this, hey, let's go. I'm ready to get on board. What is the biggest difference between your Canon 5D Mark IV and your Sony A7R II? Do you like it? Are you experiencing any drawbacks? I kind of answered that already too. I'm not really experiencing any drawbacks. I really actually don't. I'm loving the A7R II. I said I've already answered the differences in them. I think the A7R II is a fantastic camera. It depends on what you actually shoot. You really don't need the A7R II. If budget and money is a problem, hey, go with the A7 II. Hey, I was actually looking into getting that before the A7R II, but I kind of wanted the 4K and everything else, so I can try that out. So hey, whatever works for you, it's up to you. Hey, will you ever do a shoot with some of the other photographers that we see on YouTube? Hey, I'm always looking to collaborate with other photographers, honestly, all the time. I know there's a lot out there. Tony and Chelsea, I know you got Manny, you got Jason, you got Frodo, you got Fernando, you got a lot of us out there. Daryl Hosting. If you guys are ever in Virginia Beach, hey, hit me up. Say, hey, I'm in Virginia Beach, let's shoot. I'm always open to shooting. All right, I'll read one more question here. Hey, what is the next equipment or lens that you're looking into getting, and why? What am I going to pick up next? Well, as you guys know, I really don't rent anything. Everything that I have, I own. So if you're one of those guys that go out and buy and rent and do reviews, I mean, that's on you guys. I own everything, so probably the next thing I'm going to probably look into picking up. That's a good question. I tell you what, I just picked up the 8200. I picked up the 8200 because a lot of people use it and it's kind of portable. As you guys know, I have the Explorer 600. So I kind of wanted another light, a mono light, to kind of compensate or actually complement my Explorer 600. So I thought the 8200 would be a fantastic flash to use it. So please comment, like, and subscribe and share. Let's grow the channel together. If you guys have questions, send the questions. Hit up my Instagram, hit up my Facebook, and hey, I'm here if you need me, guys. All right, until next time, take care.